Hi guys, hope you're good. Hope you're good. I am on time, which is always nice. Snus is here. I am an Arsenal fan today. Me too. Me too. It feels weird being an Arsenal fan, but I'd rather we win it. I'd rather we win it ourselves, kind of thing. Um, I felt like last time when it was Chelsea and and um, and Man City, it was a bit anticlimactic. So I'd rather we. It feels weird supporting Arsenal, but I'd rather they pull something out. Beating Spurs at home is a way better thing than seeing this rubbish team lose to Palace. It is. I just feel it would be like so anticlimactic if we won it today. I mean, it'd be good. It'd be good, but I don't know. It'd be like opening your presents early. You know what I mean? Rather than opening them on the day. That's what it'd feel like. If they somehow fumble it, though, I'll take that. Yeah, fair enough. Dunking on high line for life, mate. Get up the pitch, mate. Get up the pitch, mate. Yeah, it's better than wanting of Arsenal to lose today. I agree with that. Hey, Derwood. Hope you're good. Hope you're doing well. Hope Snus is doing well. Fantastic, fantastic. Stevie G says we're winning the league today. Maybe. I mean, like, like I was saying, I wouldn't mind it, but I'd rather we won it ourselves. Defts is saying, "My God, it's empty at Arsenal." It feels like I don't want to say it feels like they're throwing this game away, but they're playing a bit of a kind of reduced team. The last I saw, I don't think Saka's in the team. I don't think Marino's in the team, who's their best player. Um, it feels like they might be putting all their eggs in the Champions League basket, but hopefully they lose that as well. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you there. I will take it. Um, it's just rather we win it ourselves too. Yeah, with you on that. Palace got semi in FA Cup as well. They're in the semi-finals. FA Cup. I didn't know that. Who are the four teams? Semi-finals FA Cup. Oh yeah, so Palace, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, Man City. Nice. Hopefully somebody other than Man City can win that one. Dunking on the kangaroo tactic guy is way funnier than seeing Arsenal fumble the bag. It is way funnier, especially as he seems to have developed like some sort of problem with us, some sort of issue with us in the last week. Um, I can't remember what he said, but it was something like whenever something happens to Liverpool, there's an inquiry for the whole year, and it's like where did that come from? Where did that come from? So yeah, I'm looking forward to dunking on Ange on Sunday. Deft says, "What year the LFC topped nine? I think this is the current third one. I think this is the current third one. It's got I don't know if you can see that. Got Van Dyke on this one, but yeah, I think this is the current third one. I think. Um, so yeah, something a bit different. Acting like he wasn't a LFC fan before, and now I bet he is a bottler. The man became a Spurs fan. That's the thing. Once you kind of go to Spurs, you're forever tarnished with the bottler gene. I mean, look at Harry Kane. Look at Harry Kane. Gone to Bayern Munich, who win a trophy every year, and he's been there for almost 2 years, and he hasn't won a single thing. Um, so I think you're forever stuck with that bottler gene. Whenever you go to Spurs, we have Fish here. Hello, 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 Fish. Hope you're doing good. He says you'll never walk alone, my brother, and you will never swim alone. So that's a positive for all of us. Derwood says I can't pull myself to hope for an Arsenal win. Uh, I would rather see them. Let me just set the timer. Just give me 1 second. Ah, bollocks, they've kicked off. They've kicked off. A day will come eventually when I set the timer correctly. There you go. 12 seconds. Sorry, yeah. Derwood said, I can't pull myself to hope for an Arsenal win. I would rather see them lose because then it will be their fault. We won. Yeah. And you know they're gonna use that line, right? Like, oh, we let you in, or you only won because of us. They're gonna come up with some nonsense like that. So yeah. I'd rather they did well here. Um and then we win it ourselves on Sunday, and they go out of the Champions League as well. If they go out of the Champions League as well, that would be hilarious. Uh, there would be some sort of inquest. Given kind of how much Arteta spent as well, is it like 800 million, something like that? So, yeah, let's see what happens. I have seen so many annoying Arsenal fans on X. I cannot be an Arsenal fan. I don't expect much more than a win. It's bizarre. Like, they've got like ego and they've got chest, and they're very loud for like fans who haven't won anything for 20 years. That I can even forgive Man United fans to a certain degree for being loud, given kind of how many. It's only been what 10-ish years since they last won, which is, again, it's a long time, but it's not 20 years. But I don't know. I don't know where this confidence and ego comes from with respect to Arsenal fans. It's a bit bizarre. Defs is asking, would you like Eze at Reds? I wouldn't mind him. I think he's a good player. I think the only thing with Eze is I think he's more of like a number 10. I know he can play on the wing, but I feel like Eze is more of a number 10. And even though we can improve in the number 10 position, it doesn't feel like a priority right now. It's just a free kick here for Odegaard. Whips it in, header, and it's a goal for Arsenal. It's a goal for Arsenal. Who scored? I don't even know who this guy is. Kivio. I didn't know Kivio. I thought Kivio was Japanese. Or is that's Tomiyasu? I've been confused. I always thought Kivio was Tomiyasu. Never mind. Fair play. Come on, Arsenal. We can do this. We can do this, Gunners. I will increment the score. Beautiful goal by this wonderful team from North London. Derwood says, yeah, Munich is winning the Bundesliga this year. Yeah, I think Harry Kane unfortunately might get some sort of trophy. Let's see what happens. Fish says you'll never eat alone. I did eat alone today, but maybe not tomorrow. And then we win in Sunday and beat the Butlers. Yeah, perfect. I'd rather we won it on our own terms, because a few years ago when it was the Chelsea game, it just felt a bit anticlimactic. Like, I don't know, at 7 o'clock you weren't champions, and then at 9 o'clock you were, and you hadn't done anything. It just felt a bit anticlimactic. So I'd rather we did it ourselves. Yeah, Defts is saying, and Adam Walton is very good. Yeah, he's he's the defensive midfielder, right? I think for Palace. Yeah, he looks very good. He's one of those that's rumored to get a move, but again, kind of very, very expensive. I don't know if he's in the FSG price range, shall we say? Yeah, at least Man United have won loads. And again, I don't like Man United. I despise them, but I understand why they have a certain level of arrogance. But with Arsenal, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't. And even like earlier in the season, they said, "Oh, we're not scared of Liverpool. We'll catch up Liverpool." And it's like, who are you? Like, where's this arrogance coming from? Yeah, nice goal by the team we are supporting today. I should have bought an Arsenal shirt just for today. I have two. It's annoying. They will always be second to Liverpool and City. Yeah. I'd argue like also kind of below Man United. And also from a European perspective. Arsenal are countering here. Come on, Martinelli, do something useful. You've not done anything useful the entire year, and you dribble the ball out. It proper winds up Arsenal fans when you say West Ham have more European pedigree than they do. Well, you got your wish. Yeah, we're happy. I know you have trouble supporting Arsenal today. I do feel a bit disgusting supporting them, if that's any sort of consolation. Alboy says goals Arsenal. Yeah, wonderful goal. Very happy about that. I just got nothing. I got nothing against the club Arsenal, just the fan base that makes it even harder to care about the club. Yeah, very cocky. Again, it's not all of them, but it seems to be a significant vocal minority, and I just find it a bit peculiar. He Polish, yeah, Kivio Polish. Fish says Kivio is my Polish brother. Nice. I always got confused between Kivio and Tomiyasu for some reason. I don't know why. What happened to Palace? They had a run, but they were not bad. Where is that team? Who knows? Maybe it's a case of the kind of gears coming off towards the end of the season. Maybe they don't have quite enough. They do have an opportunity here. Falls to what's his name, Nketiah. Nothing happens. Maybe they didn't have like enough of a squad for the entire season. We do kind of see that sometimes where teams can do really well, but as they get into the latter stages, players kind of tire and they don't have kind of enough cover to continue that level of performance. No marking, Palace on the beach already. Yeah, it looks like it. If you concede within the first 3 minutes, you're definitely on the beach. Mateta's on the bench. Yeah, I saw that when I was looking at the lineups. When I was looking at the lineups before the game, I found that a bit peculiar. I hope it hurts you saying "Let's go Gunners." It does. It did hurt me. It didn't quite hurt me as the other day when I was asking what Chelsea shirt to buy. So that must mean I hate Chelsea more. I don't know. I would never say that. Yeah, I would ordinarily never say that. Crossed in, nothing happened. Fish says, not gonna lie, Kivia looks like me. I might think I'm his twin brother. Well, if you're his twin brother, you could try playing for Arsenal. You might do a better job. Fish might be the better twin than. Is it Jacob? Is his name Jacob? Yeah. To be fair, I'd rather watch Inter Milan versus AC Milan for this boring game. Yeah. This is I think now that Arsenal have got a goal, they're probably going to sit back and do their ultra defensive thing. Did anyone see what Ben Foster had to say about Trent? No. Nope. Me neither. No, me neither. What did he say? Atom says, I don't get it either. Arsenal fans just come and trash us like villains. And I just think, what have you guys done lately that we haven't? It is a bit bizarre. Like, I don't mind kind of, I don't know, Man City fans having an ego, but I don't understand where the Arsenal kind of ego comes from. They haven't won a major trophy for 20 years. So what's, I don't know, where's all the chest coming from? It's a bit kind of bizarre. He seems to think if Klopp doesn't go to Madrid, Trent will stay. Interesting. That's Ben Foster's opinion. Yeah. With the whole Trent situation, I've kind of gotten over it, kind of regardless of what happened. So let's kind of see. Well, we have beat them to a title, so they should have. Yeah, they should. 100%. Arne did dunk on them in his first season. With absolutely no transfers. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny when you think about it. Like at the start of the season, I would have said, okay, we're getting a new manager. He's replacing a legendary manager, and he's not going to buy anyone. What do you think? What do you think he'll do? I would have said maybe like top 4 max. So the fact that it looks like he's gonna win the league is pretty amazing. Atom says they haven't dunked on anyone. Yeah, they haven't. They don't play particularly attacking football. Um, they've they're constantly the bridesmaids. So again, I don't understand the ego. I'd argue they showed a lot more ego than Man City. They showed a lot more ego than kind of Man United. So I'm like, where's this coming from? And again, it's not everyone. And maybe perhaps it's just kind of people doing it for clicks. Who knows? Fish says you'll never know alone. Fish, I don't seem to be doing anything alone. You said I'll never eat alone. I'll never something else alone, and now I'll never know alone either. They're gonna love that. They're gonna love that comparison, Atom. They are just another team that doesn't. uh, they're just another team that doesn't win anything like Tottenham. They're gonna love that. They're gonna absolutely love that. The only kind of slight difference is I think Tottenham have had more success in Europe recently. They did get to a Champions League final a couple of years back, and yeah, it's more than Arsenal have achieved. Yeah. Oh yeah, I read that wrong. They haven't really done anything. We dunked on Arsenal and yet they speak. Yeah, bizarre. Klopp won't join that club. But yeah, a lot of people don't seem to think he will. For me, if he does, I wouldn't begrudge him. It doesn't feel like his kind of club. Like he seems to kind of thrive on being the underdog. And I know that mentality can frustrate people, but he seems to kind of thrive on being the underdog. He doesn't seem to be a Real Madrid type of guy. He doesn't seem to be like a Bayern Munich type of guy. He was always the Dortmund guy. If he goes, I'd be interested. I'd be interested to see it. The Blue Baron says the FA Cup is a major trophy. Opinions, I guess. For me, kind of Champions League and kind of Premier League are the two kind of major trophies. FA Cup is perhaps the third one. But yeah, FA Cup over Carabao Cup, 100%. Durwood says, I can't see it happening either. I don't know how it started. This is like him going to City to be a manager. Yeah, he doesn't strike me as the type of guy who would join the big team. He seems to thrive and get a bit of a kick out of being the underdog. Satish Chiravuri says, bro, are you Punjabi? Not exactly, but I do. Ooh, Palace are through, but they fluff it up. I do understand a bit of Punjabi. I do understand a bit of Urdu. I do understand a bit of Hindi. Klopp, only team who'd manage now is the German national team. That would be interesting. That would be interesting to see. I don't see him do any other club management. If he does go somewhere else, whether it's a national team or whether it's a club team, I'd be interested to see it as kind of most people would. Fish is smart. Fish is very, very smart. Fish is now smoking, which is interesting. Fish, you'll never blub alone. I said fish. Fish will never swim alone, but blub alone is a close second. Fish says no. Kulusevski. What about Kulusevski? The Spurs are not playing today, are they? Let me just check. Yeah. The Blue Baron says, which knockoff website did you get that Liverpool shirt from? That's a very good question. LiverpoolFC.com. The knockoff of knockoff websites. Pixel is here, says F they scored. But we're kind of supporting Arsenal, it seems, because we want to win the we want to kind of win the league ourselves. Because we kind of felt like it was a bit anticlimactic when a few years back it was just was it Chelsea, Man City, and then 7:00 we were not champions, and then 9:00 we are champions. But equally, if we won it today, wouldn't really mind. Yeah, Atom is here. Making friends with the Arsenal fans, comparing them to Tottenham. The Diaz fan is here. Fish is on a mad one saying burr 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 bada bing or two 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 sure. I read out all of them. You see, I didn't skip one. Howdy. Any cup that gets you a Europe trip is worthwhile. Yeah, that's a fair point. It all started because Madrid PR or propaganda from them. Yeah, you do kind of constantly get kind of PR from Madrid. They do seem to kind of control the media, and there's that Marca newspaper, which I'm fairly sure they edit themselves. So the PR that they have is a bit over the top. Fish is just naming random players now. Now he's saying no, James Maddison. After speaking about Kulusevski earlier, can't complain. About to tune into the game. Yeah, it's an okay game. It's kind of slow. But hopefully it kind of picks up. I would love to see Klopp at AC Milan, but that won't happen though. Yeah, I reckon he might. I don't kind of see him going to Italy. I think he might go to Spain. I don't know if he'd go to Madrid, but he might. I'd love to see it kind of wherever he goes. Fish is saying burr 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 bada bing or two 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 sure. Yes. Snus says I agree with Fish. Praise the big fish. Blue Baron says, I kind of feel like this average Liverpool side has stumbled to the title. I'm not necessarily sure about that. I think if you kind of look at the points total that they have this year, it's kind of comparable to what the teams kind of had last year. I do think the other teams perhaps haven't been quite as strong as they have been, but I wouldn't go so far as to say that they've kind of stumbled. Because I think it's very unlikely that absolutely every other team drops off. I think you can also have a situation where one team is just kind of doing better than the others. You might see him in a German club. Yeah, I'd love to kind of see him back in Germany. I think wherever he goes again, I think it will be interesting to see how he kind of transforms the team. Yeah, Snus is saying average Liverpool side. Yeah, it is a bit. Yeah. Well, what can you say whilst also being nice? I skipped school to go to AFTV. Wow. Well, did you learn much at AFTV? Was it worth skipping school? He'll go to Rangers, says the Blue Baron. Are you a Rangers fan? Will he follow in the footsteps of Mr. Steven Gerrard and win you a title? I wouldn't mind seeing Klopp in the SPL. Gerrard did well there. Brendan Rodgers did well there. So imagine kind of Klopp being there. Snus says, imagine calling us that. If you are average, Arsenal are just terrible. Yeah. It is a bit peculiar. I think we've got like a similar kind of points total also to what kind of Man City had last year. We're doing kind of very similar to what Man City did last year. I think maybe even slightly ahead of what Man City did last year. But nobody kind of ever says that about Man City. Again, it's just banter. It's just people messing, which is fine. Fish says, no, Jason Derulo. Fish, are you on drugs or are you drunk or is it some sort of cocktail of the both? Asraf Lukman says, what the hell is Ruben Amorim doing here? Yeah, I'm trying to get ideas from Arsenal. I'm not convinced my three at the back system works. So, I figured let's watch one superior team in Arsenal and let's watch another superior team in Crystal Palace. See if I can learn something. To be fair, I actually quite like Ruben Amorim, and I'm a bit annoyed Man United got him. He seems like a genuine person, which is unfortunate to have at Man United. because I don't think Ten Hag was particularly genuine. Blue Baron says, I'd love Klopp at Rangers, but that'll never happen. Yeah, unlikely. Unlikely to happen, to be honest. It would be fun to see. It would be fun to kind of see him in the SPL, just just for kind of laughs. Fish says, "Glory, glory, fish, glory, glory, fish United, glory, glory, fish." There seems to be like a common theme, food-related theme in everything that you say, Fish. And if you're a fish, why are you talking about fish sandwiches? That's kind of cannibalism, kind of cannibalistic. Durwood says, if we win the rest of the games, we will have, yeah, exactly. We'll have kind of more than kind of City last season, but we didn't hear this kind of narrative about kind of City last season. So it's a bit peculiar. It kind of seems like cope. Whereas like if I was in this situation, I'd be like, look, you just beat whoever's in front of you kind of thing. It is what it is. We have the same point tally as Man City treble this season, but we are terrible. Yeah, again, it's just kind of weird cope. I think what it is nobody really kind of cares about Man City, so people just kind of tune out and mentally kind of tune out when it's Man City. Whereas when it's one of the bigger teams, say kind of Liverpool or perhaps even Arsenal, perhaps even Man United, then we need to kind of come up with kind of justification. So we're saying that the Premier League has dropped off, but the team that's in 17th and the team that is in 14th, they're in the Europa League semi-finals. So then that doesn't make sense, right? And the team that's in second is in the Champions League semi-finals. So I don't necessarily think there's been a drop off to the point that people are saying. I think it's just kind of cope. Ashraf says, "Bro, you really look like Ruben Amorim from Team." Fair enough. I'll take that. I got told I look like an Indian actor the other day. So yeah, I need to make a list of these people, and then I might have to look at them. The Blue Baron says it's more. City has a massive off-season and Arsenal are concentrating on the Champions League has caused Liverpool to stumble to the title. I'm not sure I kind of necessarily agree. City kind of lost one player in Rodri, and then it feels like the walls kind of completely fell off. And then they did also kind of try and rectify it in January by kind of spending 200 million on Marmoush and so forth, and it hasn't necessarily worked on them. With respect to Arsenal, I don't think they're concentrating on the Champions League, which allowed Liverpool to succeed. I think they're only concentrating on the Champions League because there's no route into the Premier League, if you know what I mean. So I think that's kind of back to front. And at this point, Man City treble season, they have had 4 losses and we have had 2 losses. That is true. I think it's just a natural thing. Like Man City are not a big club, so whenever they do things, nobody really cares. Whereas if this was say Man United in our position, then we'd say, yeah, they've only done it because they spent $1 billion. Again, it's just kind of cope, I think. Fish is my favorite food is cheeseburgers and fish and Mikel Arteta. That's interesting. Just seeing Mikel Arteta on the touchline now, he looks like he's in one piece. So I'm not sure how much you've eaten. Asiraf Lukman says, "Bro, give me one reason why Liverpool lost on round of 16. Probably arrogance." And I can hold my hand up. The team was playing a bit arrogant, I felt, where they thought, yeah, PSG, no worries, we'll kind of get past them. So I'll say probably arrogance, and hopefully we can learn a bit of kind of humbleness. Again, I don't think we're the most arrogant team ever, but it's just the kind of vibe I got. Playing very arrogant. There wasn't really any urgency in the game. I felt played pretty badly. So yeah, that's what I say. At Zero says that Haaland is really good at not not winning trophies. Yeah. Yeah, he's a bit of an odd one, shall we say? Very good finisher, very good finisher, very good kind of fox in the box. Um, but there doesn't really seem to be kind of much more to his game. Um, so kind of with Haaland, like either he'll score or he'll do absolutely nothing. Sometimes that works for you, sometimes that doesn't. Fish is continuing to name completely random Spurs players, which is nice. Benteke, now James Maddison before that. Uh, yeah, Durwood agrees with Atom there. The standard when City won the treble in the Premiership was much higher than now. Just facts. Not necessarily, because they were on lower points, and also saying something is just facts doesn't suddenly make it kind of facts. If you kind of know what I mean. Like again, points tallies are kind of similar. I do think kind of City have been a bit unfortunate to kind of lose Rodri. I do think Rodri is very important to them. But equally, like if your wheels completely fall off when you lose one player, that's not particularly good either. Fish says this is my daughter and my granddaughter or babies. Interesting. Well, the one at the start and the one at the end, they look a similar age because they're not in eggs. So is your daughter the same age as your granddaughter? You know, the one in position number 1 and the one in position. Oh, Palace have scored, by the way, which I'm not particularly happy about. Eze. Pixel will be happy. I'm not particularly happy. Let me change the score. At least we have a game on now. Crossed in. Oh, that was a nice goal. They did the old Beckham and Scholes routine. Nice volley, to be fair. Volleyed it into the ground and went in. Abiliosis145 says, hi, I'm an LFC fan. Wallahi, I've supported them for 2 seasons now because I got into football about 2 years ago as well. Okay, fair enough. How did you, if you got into football 2 years ago, what made you decide on Liverpool over the other teams? Like, what was it that attracted you to Liverpool? Liverpool got 5 more points than we had last year, so we ain't rubbish. We have done better this season. I don't care if the others can't. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. It's not our problem if other teams kind of can't win their games. If other teams are kind of losing to kind of mid-table teams and so forth, it's not necessarily our fault. You just play kind of whoever's in front of you. Vista Football, name a football player for an edit. Connor Bradley. Ask Fish if he knows any good Italian players. Fish, do you know any good Italian players? Have you ever swum to the Isles of Sicily where you've spotted any good Italian players? Asiraf says, bro, can Marmoush replace Haaland? Why would he replace Haaland? Is Haaland leaving? Have I missed something? I think Marmoush is very good. He's perhaps a better kind of all-round player. But I don't necessarily think he can replace Haaland's goal. Durwood says, yes. Yeah. Durwood can't bring herself to supporting Arsenal. Fish says, no, son. Def says, what a finish. It was a nice finish, wasn't it? It was a nice goal. It's nice to kind of... it's nice for somebody else to score a set piece against Arsenal because that seems to be their thing. It was a nice cross in, nice kind of volley against the floor, a nice finish in the top corner. The standards in that season didn't have an incredible and mid-table team competing for Europe. Yeah. And I guess another kind of indication of the standards is I think between position 3 and position 7. Oh, they were just through again. There's 3 points. I think the standard is higher this year. And I think that's proven by the fact that Man United are 14th, Spurs are 17th, and they're both in the Europa League semi-final. Go figure. My boy Eze, indeed, very nice finish. And he just had Just had another opportunity there for Nketiah, but unfortunately went over. Abiliosis says, "Where are you from?" I'm from England, from the UK. Pixelated Tooth says, "Let's go Palace." Yeah, yeah. Pixel and Durwood are supporting Palace, and I think myself and Snus are supporting Arsenal. As a how is bro so chill about a goal? As in me or the people on the pitch? I'm kind of not too fussed kind of what happens about this game, to be honest. It's a bit of a kind of dead rubber for me. Darts player says Manchester United. Indeed, in capitals. So he's emphasizing it further. Munoz has to put in a good game tonight so he can stay up late tomorrow. Our favorite Colombian team is playing a game at 1 a.m. UK time. Oh, nice. What team is that? Is that like Nacional? Is it that team, or is it a different one? UNITED. United are the club for me. Oh, so do you mean like Newcastle United? Newcastle United are the club for you. They're a good team, Newcastle United. Fish again is just being random, saying 7-0. Salah is the ghost. Do you mean GOAT? Yeah, GOAT for all. Fair enough. Vista Football said edit is on the way. Wow, very kind. Very kind. Thank you. A darts player said, where Man United and are better than you? Where? Probably about like 10 years ago, but not right now. Yes, Donnarumma, Calafiori, Bastoni, and Chiesa. Okay, Fish has got some good knowledge of Italian football. Meant to say goal, yeah, not goals. That's okay. I looked at my keyboard and I saw okay, S is next to A, just a small typo there. I think other teams are more competitive than before. Villa and Newcastle have been on the rise, and Chelsea is back. Yes. I agree with you there, Atom. And similarly, teams like Bournemouths and the Brightons and the Brentfords, they're looking kind of very, very good. And again, kind of my kind of counterpoint to this is Man United are 14th. Spurs are 17th. Both teams were kind of jokingly kind of tipped for relegation, but they're in the bottom half of the table, and they're in the Europa League semi-final. the evidence is right there. Darts player says, I'll dono $1,000 if you say United is better. Newcastle United is better. Strictly speaking, I did say it. Bro, why Foden is being terrible this season? I don't know. To be honest with you, like the entire I'm interested to hear your opinion as well. But like from my opinion, the entire motivation in that team seems to have sunk. I don't know if they know something about the charges and, you know, it's impacting the motivation and it's impacting how the team feels. But he's having a terrible season. It could also be something kind of off the pitch kind of thing. But yeah, no, can't say for certain. Snus agrees with Atom. Derwood says, I don't know, but sorry, I agree, but I don't know if Chelsea are back. They seem to come back and leave again. Yeah, they seem to kind of come back for a few minutes, and then everyone says, yeah, Chelsea are back. Chelsea are gonna win it, and then they kind of fall off. People were tipping Chelsea for the league earlier in the season, and it's not going so well anymore. I don't support Arsenal, but I expect them to win. Yeah, that's a fair point. The Blue Baron says, "Can I ask you a question, bro? Why aren't there more British Asians playing professional football?" I think it perhaps isn't necessarily encouraged at the grassroots. I think, and again, I can only really speak from my experience. But me kind of growing up, say 20, 30 years ago, football wasn't really made a priority. It was more kind of studying, doing your exams, that sort of thing was kind of prioritized. So I think that's perhaps why we don't really see that many from those kind of backgrounds. But that does seem to be changing. That does seem to kind of be changing. So hopefully in another 10 years, 20 years, we might see some more. But that's probably my priority. Yeah, for me, it was always kind of studying and all that kind of stuff. Atom says back to mattering a little bit at least, yeah, which is still a step up from them, going from nothing to a little bit. He's a West Ham United fan, fair enough. Abiliosis says, you remind me of a Pakistani cricket commentator. No offense, that's okay. I'm an Indian actor and I'm also Ruben Amarim from Timu. And now I'm a Pakistani cricket commentator. That's okay. It's all right. Fish says, that's good. Snus says, Fish got the knowledge. Fish got the knowledge. I need to know world-class players now. Name me 5 world-class players, please. Well, there's you've been set a task, Fish. You might have to figure that one out. My friend is a Chelsea fan and said it's like a bad relationship to be a fan. Yeah, kind of up and down kind of thing, or maybe just kind of good at the start. You have the new relationship feeling at the start, and then just kind of downhill from there. So new relationship for 2 months, and then bad marriage for the rest of the season. Sunny Hajawari says, how does it feel being... Oh, it's moving up. How does it feel being a Liverpool fan from expecting a treble to just league knocked out of Champions League and League Cup? And what will you look for the next season? To be honest with you, I can't say I'm kind of overly fussed. Like when we got knocked out the Champions League, it looked like the league... Like, it looked like we were going to pretty much win the league. So I was like, who cares? We're going to win the league kind of thing. Whereas if we were like 4th in the league and we got knocked out the Champions League, it would have hurt a lot more. But I remember when we got knocked out the Champions League, I was like, okay, it's a bit disappointing, but we're going to win the league. So who cares? That is honestly how I felt. League Cup, I didn't even care, to be honest with you. But if it was a case of we were 5th in the league and we got knocked out the Champions League, then it would have hurt. Then it would have hurt a lot more, I think. Abiliosis says, "My bad. A lot of these trap names, like I'm familiar with them, so I'm not gonna read them out, but they're quite I'm familiar with them, and they have made me laugh in the past, so I'll give you that, but I'm not gonna put it on the screen." Abiliosis says, "My bad. It wasn't meant to be rude. No, it wasn't rude. It wasn't rude. It's okay. Also, kind of late, but how do you feel about the Plymouth game and the PSG game? The Plymouth game." When something is so bad, you can only laugh. It was like that. You know, when something is just like so bad and you're like, you know what? This is like so awful. I'm not even going to get angry. I'm just going to laugh. That's how terrible it is. That was kind of my reaction then. And the PSG game, I think I was talking about kind of the PSG game earlier. Since we were kind of already winning the Premier League, it didn't really hurt. Obviously, it's a bit annoying to go out to PSG. And obviously, it's a bit annoying to go out when you did so well in the group stage. But considering, like, how I felt at the time was, yeah, it's a shame. But you know what? I'm going to go to sleep and tomorrow I'm not going to care. And we're going to win the league anyway, so who cares? That was my honest feeling. My honest feeling. Abby's telling me their pronouns, which I'm not going to read out. But I think Silver Eagle knows why. Abiliosis says, I feel like we have not shown enough will to play in some games. Would you agree? Yes. I think that relates to the arrogance that I was saying earlier. You know, when I said I feel like we just showed a bit of arrogance, and that's why we got knocked out. That's why we got knocked out against Plymouth. That's why we got knocked out against PSG. I think you phrased it slightly differently, but I think we're saying similar things there. But I agree with you. Abiliosi says I subbed, by the way. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, and appreciate your questions and your comments as well. Durwood says I was embarrassed during the Plymouth game. I turned it off. I was mad that the players didn't care. Yeah, so I think that's also a bit of that arrogance that you've perhaps noticed as well, because the feeling I got from the players, and even though it was a second string side, the feeling I got from the players was, oh, it's only Plymouth. We'll beat them easily, and that's why I think perhaps both of us got the feeling that they didn't care. Hopefully we learn from this. Hopefully we learn from this going forward. Jonah says hello, Jonah. Hope you're good. AC Milan scored 1-0. Dunk on them Inter. Wow. Good for AC Milan. This is the same Inter that's in the Champions League semi-final, so good for AC. I can finally take a drink. Your mouth gets very dry when you're talking for 41 minutes continuously. Abiliosis says, are you annoyed? Oh, Arsenal have just scored, by the way. Yeah. So I forgot to celebrate. Sorry. Yeah. Trossard doing this, like, mate, it's Crystal Palace. Who cares, bro? Why are you doing this? Like, do that against PSG. Like, do that against PSG. I'm just waiting to kind of see the goal here. So it looks like Partey played it to Timber, I think. Good run by Timber. Nice finish. 2-1. Let me increment the score. I need to. Oh bollocks! I pressed the wrong thing. 1 second. Sorry. 2-1. Sunny Hajawari said, where does Salah sit on the Premier League players all-time ranking? Has he surpassed Henry, Cantona, and Rooney? Surpassed Cantona, yes. Perhaps somewhat equal with Henry, maybe a bit higher, maybe a bit lower, somewhat equal with Henry, but perhaps from a Premier League perspective, perhaps lower than Rooney, because I think Rooney won multiple Premier Leagues. And Rooney's one of those players, like when I saw him at 16, and you know when he scored that curling shot, and I thought, what the hell is that? Rooney's one of those players who, when I saw debut, I was just in shock. So even though he played for two dirty teams, I do kind of have a level of kind of respect for him. Inter have not won against AC Milan this year, draw and lost the other. Okay. AC Milan got their number then by the looks of it. Durwood says, I'm a Roma fan when Dumfries is on the field. Oh, nice. Fair enough. There's perhaps, I think there might be quite a few Dumfries fans for kind of similar reasons. Yeah, Snus just knows what you're talking about. Jim Zassos is 2-1. Yeah, nice Trossard goal. Abiliosis says, how often do you post? Whenever there's like an interesting game, it's all the Liverpool games, which are typically once a week, and then it's also one or two games during the week, if that makes sense. So it's at least a Liverpool game, and it's one or two games during the week. So I guess that would make it 3 times a week. The only thing is, I'm on holiday for a portion of next week, but I'll be back. So I'm on holiday from Wednesday until Saturday next week, but I'll be back on Sunday for the Chelsea game. That's the only thing. Jim says it's 2-1. Yes, good goal. Good goal by Trossard. Boris, do you remember from yesterday? 100% remember you from yesterday. 100%. I may be turning on the Inter Milan game. Yeah, it looks like Arsenal might be winning this, and you, understandable. You don't want to kind of see them win. I do pay attention to Milan games. Only team I watch outside of LFC games. Yeah, I remember you saying. I think it's one of the first things I remember you said. Kind of Milan and Liverpool, of course. I met Rooney. Oh wow, nice. How did that go? What was he like? Where did you meet him? Kind of what was he like? Was it a good experience or was it a forgettable experience? Abiliosis says, if we get you to 100 subs, will you get the low taper fade? If that's a haircut, then there's a reason why I'm wearing a cap. Shall we say that? I have a team to follow in each league. Okay, so what? It's Roma, Liverpool. Then who's the Spain one? Who's the Germany one? Boris from yesterday, who I do remember, says, do you think Salah is a bigger legend than Gerrard? What are your thoughts about both of them legends? Nah, not for me. I don't know if it's because I kind of grew up with Gerrard, but the difference is I think Gerrard was playing in a very poor team, and he still had this ability to kind of drag the team to victory. And if the team needed someone to attack, Gerrard would attack. If the team needed someone to tackle, Gerrard would tackle. If the team needed someone to defend, Gerrard, like, he could fill in wherever you needed him to fill in, apart from in goal, and he'd put in an 8 out of 10 performance. That's something I really value for Gerrard. So for me, Gerrard's a bigger legend, but I don't mean that as a slight on Salah. Salah's a legend as well. Can't believe Arsenal is closer to a Champions League than teams like Real Madrid, Man City and Liverpool. Yeah, close, but hopefully not too close. Hopefully our Parisian neighbours do us a favour and batter all of England, because they've already battered the north of England in Liverpool. They've battered the central. Oh yeah, they've battered the north of England, which is Liverpool. They've battered the central of England, which is Villa. And now hopefully they batter the south of England, which is going to be Arsenal. I don't follow trash La Liga. Fair enough. I only pay attention if Alexander Sørloth has scored for Atletico. Is he a Norwegian player, Sørloth? So what? What the Saldic says, can you give a shout out to my football edits channel? Yes. This is a shout out to What the Celtics football edits channel. What kind of edits do you do? Is it only of Celtic players? Do you have any Van Dijk edits? You know, slightly above average centre back who used to play for you. Slightly above average centre back. First half is over. Let me stop this timer. I think the other day when I started the timer, I started it on like 90 minutes. And again, I did the same thing. I set it to 45 seconds instead of 45 minutes. I will... There you go. I'm at 100 likes, yeah. My years of getting fades are kind of beyond me, I think. Adrian says, salsa... I don't know what that means. Don't speak Spanish. I was going to read it out, but then I thought it might be some sort of swear word. Abilio says, enjoy your holiday. Thank you. I hope it's good. There was a Barcelona fan. I was raised a Barcelona fan. Okay. Do you have a favorite Barcelona player? Is it Messi or is it someone else? Can't stand La Liga teams. I hate Barcelona and Real Madrid. Yeah, less hatred for Barcelona. Barcelona have a bit less arrogance about them, I think. Also, when Pixel met Rooney, he was managing DC United. He was not happy as he had just lost. So that was pretty much like every game from what I recall. He didn't have the best time there. So he says, finally, I find the gay channel. You go, girl. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Gerard was special. Gerard was special. I don't think we'll see another like him. Snus says, I miss him so much. Imagine Gerard and Mo Salah in the same team. That would be cooking. Hopefully they play some sort of Legends game together in 10 years. It won't be the same, but it's the closest we'll get. Abilio says, I'm sorry, but I have to go now. I will join your stream whenever I can. No problem. It was good. It was good to chat to you. Hope you have a nice rest of the day. Yeah, Norwegian striker. Okay, in the La Liga there. They would be the dream team like Salah and Mane a few years ago. Yeah, it's that one thing that everyone says. Imagine Gerrard in a Klopp team or Gerrard in a slot team would have been amazing, I think. Let's be honest, do you mean if Arsenal win, they'll reach a new level of delusion? They're 100% they will. Yeah, that's the thing, Boris. So you said that, fair enough. Gerrard is like a shapeshifter. He can play in any position now. And forever he'll be a legend of the club, yeah. Even in the Champions League final, 2005 versus AC Milan, he was playing right back for a portion of that game. And he was getting his tackles in, and he was doing really, really well. What the Celtic says, not yet, which means it might be coming soon. Because he didn't say no, he said not yet. Oh, I get you now. Sorry, yeah. Let's be honest. If Arsenal win the Champions League, Ty from AFTV will reach a new level of delusion. Yeah, I quite like Ty. I don't know why. I just quite like him. I always post like sarcastic comments. You know that channel, AFTV Clips. I always post like sarcastic comments about Ty, and people seem to like them. I'm just taking the piss. I don't mean it seriously. But yeah, I like Ty. He is deluded. I don't know if he's playing I don't know if he's playing a character or if he's actually like that, but he's a character. But I have Scouse in-laws. Oh, nice. Very good. Very good. Carl says Gooners. Your Gooners are doing pretty well here. I don't mind your Gooners doing well here, but when it comes to Paris, let's do not so well. Please and thank you. You like Ty because he's just that delusional, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he's a character. If there's a Thai video and it's like if there's a Thai video, it's like 1 minute long, I'll watch it. And it'll always be the dumbest. It'll be the dumbest thing ever, but it's good. It's good fun. Sunny says, name your dream 11 for football. I think that might need to be some sort of separate video, you know. Maybe like maybe in the summer when there's no games and then we have nothing to do. Maybe we'll have to do it then. Maybe we'll put it together all of us, and we'll come up with some sort of agreement. He's definitely a funny guy. He is funny. I'm still not sure if he's playing a character or if that's legitimately him, but I guess we'll never know. Boris says, the only part I like about Arsenal is Jakub Kiwior. He's Polish and I'm Polish. Okay, fair enough. Do you know any other Polish people? Do you know Mariusz Pudzianowski? Mariusz Pudzianowski, Polish. Mateusz Kieliszkowski. Are these people famous in Poland? They're both Polish people. Just some people I know. Sunny says A. He's given me an A grade. So I'll add that to my report card. I have to laugh every time someone calls Arsenal Gooners. There's another meaning. I need to look up what this thing means because people keep saying this word. Like I see it on like social media. I see the noun, not I see the verb, not so much the noun. I'm like, what does that mean? Actually, I'm gonna Google it now, actually, and I'm gonna Google it in a private window. because I'm not 100% sure what's gonna come up. It's a state one gets into when one is highly, you know what? All right. Oh, describes male behavior rather than female. Interesting. Well, I've looked that up now in a private window. Yeah, they have some stadiums named after themselves. Oh, nice. Very good. Very good. Yes, please look it up. Yeah, it's forever imprinted on my memory now. Durwood, thank you, thank you very much for that. It's one of those things that I just been kind of meaning to look up because I kept seeing that word everywhere. And I was like, what does that mean? I thought it meant you ogle women. Apparently not. Apparently it means something very different. But yeah, I didn't fully know what it meant either. But I've googled it now. So this is Snus's dream team. Allison, Van Dijk, Hippier, Trent, Kirkes, and then probably Xabi Alonso and McAllister in like a double pivot. Salah on the right, Luis Garcia on the left, and Torres up front. Good team. Defensively sound. Good. You know. Good. Good going forward. Got a bit of everything in it. Sonny's dream team, Oliver Kahn. When I was kind of growing up, and we used to have like computer games growing up, Oliver Kahn was always the goalkeeper that had the highest stats, I remember. And I remember thinking, who's this Oliver Kahn guy? But he was always the keeper that had the highest stats. Dani Alves, Beckenbauer, Ramos, Maldini, Xavi, Iniesta, Zidane, Messi, Ronaldo. So left wing is CR7, right wing is Messi, and then up front is Brazilian Ronaldo. Yeah, that'd be a good team as well. I'm just trying to see how I'd improve that. That's pretty good. You forgot Stevie G. Yeah, you need to add Gerrard to the team. We also need to add Conor Bradley to your team. So I'd add Conor Bradley to both your teams because I'm a Conor Bradley fanboy. Mascherano was good. It was a bit weird when he went to West Ham. I don't know if anyone kind of remembers that, but yeah, he was pretty good for us. Boris says the one thing I hate about Barcelona, they stole Van Dijk won the season in 2019, and of course it was Messi. He's a stealer for the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, I really think Van Dijk should have gotten the Ballon d'Or that year. He was on another level. Ballon d'Or seems to kind of be more like a popularity contest, if I'm honest. Like if you play for one of the kind of fancy teams, you'll get it. If you play for one of the Spanish teams, you'll get it. I know Rodri got it this year, but I think Van Dijk really should have got it that year. I'm doing a future LFC players legends and now Kirk's future. Yes, that would be like your ultimate kind of Liverpool team. No, you forgot to say him. I put him in there behind McAllister. Fair enough, yeah. Mascherano was very good. Probably one of, if not the kind of best ball-winning midfielders we've ever had. Very good tackler. I know he played more kind of centre-back for Barcelona, but for us, he was kind of firmly a defensive midfielder. Yeah, it was a shame when he went, but it is what it is. Wijnaldum could have joined. Yeah, I'd put McAllister above Wijnaldum as well. Wijnaldum was very good. The whole Wijnaldum transfer was so weird. Like, oh, here's a winger. Here's a winger that plays for Newcastle who've just been relegated, and then we buy him and we play him as a central midfielder, and it came across. He played really well. I was also thinking of Prime Fabinho. Yeah, Prime Fabinho was very good as well. He kind of had it all as well. Kind of very good kind of tackler. Kind of very good kind of passer. Um, there weren't really any kind of holes to his game, if I'm honest. Kind of Fabinho kind of had it all. I think the only kind of not so much issue, but I think where we kind of went wrong with Fabinho is we kind of overplayed him, and so by the time he kind of got to 30, there were so many miles in his legs that he just couldn't go anymore. And I hope we don't repeat the same mistakes with Gravenberch. I hope we get some sort of cover for Gravenberch. That's a good point as well, Boris. If I'm honest, the Ballon d'Or is only really awarded for goals and upper positions like left winger, right winger, attacking midfielder, striker, but not defender. Yeah, it seems to be more of a kind of flashy attacking player type of award. I know Rodri won it, but that feels like more of an anomaly. It's more of an attacking sort of award. It'll be interesting to see who wins it this year and what excuse they give not to give it to Salah. Sonny says Messi being a Steeler after being the top scorer in UCL, European Golden Shoe, carried a deadbeat team 2018-19. Barcelona, yeah, the only one I believe he doesn't deserve is 2023. Haaland deserves. Oh, fair enough. So you're saying he carried the team, therefore he truly deserved it. Yeah, I see both arguments. Me, like in 2019, obviously I watched a lot more of Van Dijk than Messi, and also I'm a bit biased, so I'd want to give it to Van Dijk. But for me, in that season, kind of Van Dijk had a generational season, so I'd probably give it to him. I don't know why, but I really miss Luis Garcia. What a player he was for us, yeah. I think we signed him the exact same day as Xabi Alonso, because I remember they did their reveal together. It was Benitez, Alonso, and Garcia. I had some vague awareness of Alonso, but I thought, who's this Luis Garcia guy? I don't know who this guy is. Who's this guy? He's like 5'3". Like, what use is he gonna be? And then turned out pretty amazing. Always remember his goal. Always remember his goal against Juventus in the Champions League, where it was Anthony Talic passed it sideways, ball bounced, Garcia volleyed it past what's his name before and kind of went in. Luis Garcia, Peter Crouch, and Xabi Alonso always had a soft spot for me. Yeah, Peter Crouch is another one. I don't know what it is. I think he's another one who didn't really kind of look like a footballer. So that made him a bit endearing, we could perhaps say. When he scored those 2 goals at the Legends game last month, he looked so happy. So yeah, Peter Crouch is another one. Especially when we signed him, I think he didn't score for about 20 games. And then he scored and it was amazing. I remember it. £7 million. Was it from Portsmouth? I remember it was £7 million. But yeah, good player, Peter Crouch. If you think Messi had many Ballon d'Ors and defenders don't get any recognition for their work, so that's why I think he deserved it. Yeah, fair enough. I guess ultimately he won it, so that's all that matters now. You know what I mean? Let me just set the timer. They're about to start again, and they've kicked off. Sonny says, thoughts on Liverpool version of Suarez and Coutinho? I hear they were amazing. Then the latter flop at Barcelona, obviously not Suarez. Yeah, in that kind of half season, was it half a season? Because I think Coutinho went in January. But in that half season, before he went to Barcelona, like Coutinho was amazing, to the point where it kind of felt like 140 million was a fair fee, because Coutinho looked unstoppable at Liverpool. in that kind of half season. Seasons before that, he kind of gradually got into the team, but I would say kind of the half a season before he left, and maybe the season before that, he looked very, very good. But yeah, Barcelona, it didn't quite work out for him. Obviously, Suarez was very good for Liverpool, and I think he did have a good career at Barcelona. He wasn't a world beater, but he was someone I will forever remember, and he had some good goals. Yeah, I'd say he was kind of like a world beater just in that half a season before we lost him, where he looked amazing. But yeah, good player, very good goals, very good long range goals, very good free kicks. Nice little lob over David De Gea as well. Suarez and Coutinho was amazing for Liverpool. Coutinho was magic. He he chose to go to Barca and flopped like Magikarp. Yeah, he thought he was going to be a Gyarados, but he was a Magikarp. Yeah, he didn't evolve. Yeah, unfortunate. Same thing will probably happen to Trent. Suarez was amazing. Imagine Suarez, Torres, and Gerrard together. That was the plan, apparently. That was the plan. So Suarez was not a replacement for Torres. They were meant to play together. But Torres left, and I think then Andy Carroll came in. But I remember reading somewhere that the plan was for those three to play together. It's a shame we didn't get to see that. I remember the 2005 final. It had me shook, and Jerzy Dudek, what a goalkeeper, and he's also Polish, best Polish goalkeeper in the world. Yeah, Dudek saved us countless times in that final. There's that chance for Shevchenko, where he had the double chance. Arsenal gonna score here? No. Did very well to kind of keep Shevchenko out during the game, and then also saved Shevchenko's penalty at the very end. So yeah, he kind of became a legend based on that game, I think. I don't know if this is a penalty to Arsenal or what they're complaining about. Nah. We would have won it all with them. Yeah, we would have been very good. We would have been very good. Because the whole Torres and Gerrard combination was amazing. So that's on this side, the whole Torres and Gerrard combination. Then on this side, you had Suarez. You know what I mean? So if you add those two together, who knows what would have happened? That's Barcelona's biggest failure. Couldn't find a replacement for Neymar. And of course, also speaking of Dudek, what are your thoughts on Karius? Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was unfortunate. I reject it whenever anyone says he just had one bad game. He didn't just have one bad game. He had a lot of bad games. The Champions League final is just the most famous one, but he had a very bad game against Roma, very bad game against Tranmere. He was making a kind of lot of mistakes. But it is what it is. Seems like a nice enough person, but yeah, just sometimes things just kind of don't work out. Ryan Gillespie says that's on Nunes going. What's on Nunes going? Is it the Suarez thing or something else? Imagine that triangle with Torres, Gerrard, and Suarez. Yeah, would have been pretty good. Gerrard kind of feeding balls to Torres, feeding balls to Suarez, and if one of them misses, the other one's there to hammer it in. Yeah, it's a shame we didn't get to see that. Thoughts. Sorry, Ryan. Thoughts. It's probably the right decision for everyone, I think. It hasn't really worked out for Nunes here, and I think that it's not necessarily a bad thing to say that. I think it's based on the evidence, it hasn't really worked out. He also seems kind of quite unhappy here now. Manager doesn't seem to trust him because our left winger's getting in ahead of him to kind of start. So from a playing perspective, it doesn't kind of make sense to keep him. On the other hand, I think he would still command a decent amount of money because he is still kind of Uruguay striker. So yeah, it's the right decision. It's the right decision because he ain't gonna get a game. So let's sell him now rather than waiting for him to go on a free. And the other side of the coin is, since he ain't gonna get a game, he's probably gonna want to play football, right? So it's for the good of everyone that he just kind of moves on. We get a bit of money. He goes to another team where he can perhaps not revive his career. That's probably an exaggeration. But he can go to another team where he can start every game. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy. Yeah. Well, what about you? What do you think about that? Let's not talk about Karius. That's like talking about Scott Carson. Yeah. Scott Carson actually used to play for us, which I'm sure you remember. He played in that 2005 Champions League run as well. I think in the Juventus game. You know the Juventus game where Luis Garcia scored? I think Scott Carson was in goal for that. Can you remember all these players in their prime? Sorry, can you imagine all these players in their prime? Suarez up front, Salah on the right, Mane on the left, I presume. Gerrard pulling the strings while Virgil and Alisson saving the back line. Yeah, probably win the lot with that. Not really any kind of significant weaknesses there. 3G says, "Sup, my G, new here. It's good to have you here, 3G. Hope you're doing good. Hope you are doing well." Add in Hippier beside Van Dijk. Yeah, that'd be good. I don't know who'd get the number 4 shirt though. Can they both wear number 4, or does someone have to pick a different number? But yeah, together they would have done kind of really good. Yeah, it's just a shame that these players come along at different times. Trent on the right and Prime Risa on the left. Yeah, that could have worked pretty well. Who's in defensive midfield though? So we've covered kind of the upfront positions, we've covered the defense, we've covered the fullbacks, but who's in kind of the defensive midfield? Maybe Fabinho, maybe Mascherano, Ojabi, yeah. We give them both number 4, yeah. Hope you're doing good as well. Yeah, not too bad. I had the day off work today, which is always nice. The bad thing is I got work tomorrow, so not great. If you're a Liverpool fan, can you tell me, where did You Never Walk Alone originate from? I used to know this, but I don't know it anymore. It's kind of embarrassing. Xabi, Fabinho, why not both? Can we play both in a double pivot? That could be nice. I think it's the right time to go. Not getting game time. Love Isak or Gyökeres to come in though. Yeah, I agree with you. He's not getting any game time, so let him go. And the benefit is he goes and gets game time, and then we bring a bit of money in, and then we can perhaps buy an Isak, or perhaps buy a Gyökeres, or perhaps buy maybe even an Alvarez. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens in the summer. I think this will be the biggest summer that we've had in a while, which isn't hard considering the last 3 windows we've not bought anyone. But I'm excited to see what happens. 3G says, "I'm a big Chelsea fan. Do you remember Didier Drogba?" I do remember Drogba. I remember being terrified of Didier Drogba. Didier Drogba, you signed from Marseille, I think, for about 25 million. Mourinho signed him, and Mourinho always said, "Drogba's the one I want. I don't want anyone else. I want Drogba." And then he joined. He got the number 15 shirt, and then I think he changed it to the number 11 shirt. Drogba, very good striker. It's not often that like I'm scared of like other players, but Drogba's one of those players I'll genuinely say scared of that guy. Like if you see him, not from like a Not like from like a playing football perspective. I was like, that guy's dangerous because Drogba had strength and he had pace. Like he had both. Um, Also, kind of very good kind of finisher as well. Very good header. He kind of had everything. And back in the day, not many strikers had everything. Like Shevchenko was technically good, but he didn't have power. Crouch was technically good, didn't have pace. So Drogba kind of had it all. I was pretty terrified of Drogba. I can't lie. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. Yeah. I'd defo put Gerrard in that. I would love to see McAllister with them as well. And then we could put Fabinho prime since he can't cover anymore and he don't need to be in a pivot. Yeah. All good options. We have had a lot of good midfielders over the years. Oh, it's 2-0. 2-0. So Luka Jovic, 2 goals versus Inter 2-0. Wow. So AC Milan seem to be Inter's kind of bogey team by by the looks of it. Let's see how they do against Barcelona. He was the man, yeah, very good, very good striker. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Dunk on them Blues, yeah, that's what AC are doing. Yeah, I figured, yeah, can cover. No, he can't cover. 3-1 aggregate to AC Milan. Wow. I would not have seen that coming because Inter are kind of flying at the moment, considering how they're doing in the Champions League. But it is what it is. 3G says just sub, but gotta get back to work. Catch you later, man. No worries. Hope work goes okay. Yeah, and see you see you some other time. Snuff says Drogba wasn't great when it comes to scoring goals, but he was a clutch player. Yeah, he's a clutch player. And like from my perspective, I just remember always being kind of scared of him. Like, you know, sometimes when you like see a player and you just kind of get scared that they're there. I don't know who I'd kind of compare that to. Maybe how other teams feel about Salah. Like to see Salah on the pitch, they'd be like, oh God, why is he there? I just remember kind of being a bit scared. Sonny's got a quiz over here. Rank these Premier League managers: Guardiola, Mourinho, Wenger, Klopp, Ferguson to 5 right now, and it's just based on kind of Premier League success. I think you'd have to put Sir Alex Ferguson first, even though I'm dubious about how they won some titles, and I do think they kind of bought the league to a certain degree back then. Because back then, they were the only big fish breaking the transfer records repeatedly. But it is what it is. I'm not going to moan about the past. But I'd probably put Alex Ferguson first. Saka's coming on, by the way. Saka's coming on first. Alex Ferguson first. It's tough, man. It's tough. I can't remember how many Premier Leagues Arsene Wenger got. I was tempted to put Arsene Wenger higher because he didn't really ever spend much money. He always bought like cheap French players and then they turned out really, really good. So I might put him quite high for that. Pep, I'd put a bit lower than usual because I think he always seems to just kind of spend loads of money on players. And even in January, Marmoush, that Russian guy, like his solution kind of always tends to be kind of buying players. Jurgen got to be above Arsene Wenger, 1 Champions League, 1 EPL. Snus is saying Alex Ferguson, Guardiola, Jose, Klopp, and Wenger. I still feel like Guardiola's overrated. You know, it's so silly to say that, but I feel like he's never done it with a budget. He's always had amazing players. He's always had money to spend. And when things don't go well, he just buys another. When things don't go well, he'll just spend £100 million on Jack Grealish and stick him on the bench. When things don't go well, he'll just buy Cancelo for 60 million and stick him on the bench. When things don't go well, he'll just buy Matheus Nunes for 50 million and not playing for a year, stick him on the bench. I'm going to be controversial. This is my opinion. Alex Ferguson, number 1. Wenger, number 2. Mourinho, number 3. Klopp, number 4. Guardiola, number 5. I don't care. That's my opinion. If I'm correct, Drogba just crossed the 20 goals tally twice. Yeah, he didn't score many goals, but he was a menace on the pitch. And again, I was just always kind of scared of him. I was just always kind of scared. Just always scared seeing Drogba. That's life. That is life. Yeah, good life for Pep. Like even like. When kind of Liverpool had no defenders, Klopp had to come up with a solution, play Fabinho there, play Henderson there. But like if it was Man City, day one, they would have spent 100 million on a new centre-back. That's why like Guardiola is good. It still does need skill to win the league, but I want to see him manage a Dortmund. I want to see him manage a Porto. Then I'll see what go on. Eze's coming off. What's that about? Wenger, yes, it was big to go invincible. Sadly, Klopp could have become an invincible centurion. I'm so sad, not so glad. I was so sad we lost that one game to City, yeah. But you know what? That's life. Yeah. Yeah, what I liked about Wenger, and I don't know if I'm remembering this incorrectly, but like, he'd always buy like cheap players, like Patrick Vieira was cheap, like Thierry Henry was cheap. Like he'd always buy like cheap players and like then turn them around and make them world class. That's what I really, really respected about Wenger. Where is Jose Mourinho? I miss his banter with Wenger. Genius in failure. And that's football heritage. Football heritage. Oh God, I miss him. Yeah. Three Champions Leagues. 3. Respect. That's one of my favorite Mourinho videos. What's the other one? I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble, and I don't want to be in big trouble. That's a good one. Another good one where someone asks him the question and he says, "That's a very bad question, because it looks like it's my fault, it's my problem, and your question's very bad." we miss him as a character as well. He was quite entertaining, should we say? Ooh, crossed in. Yeah. Still 2-1 in this game. Munoz keeps it in though. Palace are knocking at the door. To be fair, they haven't quite given up yet. So I think that's fair enough. Ooh, bicycle kick, but nothing happens. And to the question about how we feel about our loss to Plymouth and PSG, yes, it hurts a little. Those are games we should have won. We cannot win every game, and we had a few heartbreaks with Klopp before we won the Premier League and Champions League. It's about how you conquer it, it is, and it's about kind of how you move past it. Let's see how Arna deals with it and pushes the players to win the majors. I believe we will win the Champions League with Arna, but I don't know. But with Arna, but when, I don't know. But let him build his team and we'll go again. Yeah, I think you're right, and I think that's another thing we need to be aware of, that this isn't his team. He's doing it with players that he doesn't necessarily like. We know which players he likes and which players he doesn't. And it seems like most of the players he doesn't like, because he always plays the same 11. So let him get his own players. Let Richard Hughes work his magic. Let Michael Edwards cook. And let's see what they come up with next year. It shall be very interesting. I'm back. Happy nothing happened. Yeah. Absolutely nothing happened in this game. As always, like the conversation and the kind of chat is a billion times more interesting than the game. Just think about this. Arsenal, United, Chelsea, City, Spurs let Darwin Núñez win a Premier League. Let that sink in 100%. They can say that he's rubbish, but they still let him win a Premier League. And it's all well and good, and it's all well and good saying, yeah, the standard is poor, but then that's your fault. Like, you hold the ownership for that. Like, if you're a boxer and you go to the boxing ring and you get knocked out, and then you say, you only won by knockout because the standard was poor. Well, then that's my fault for not training. So the standard isn't like a mythical thing. The standard is in your own control. Like, if you fail an exam, that's on you. So for being kind of unprepared, people are crazy. Like when Leicester won the league, people say the standard was poor. But then I would say, it's our fault for not capitalizing on that. Why didn't we take advantage of that when Leicester did? I'd rather kind of blame things on ourselves and kind of take ownership for ourselves. Lewis Skelly, nothing happened. First of all, what I find funny is, where did Liverpool find Arne Slot, and Man United couldn't find a decent manager? Like, come on, guys, you get Ten Hag, Amarim, to the point Neville is about to cry. I think that shows the difference in the approach of the two teams, and you can see it from a player perspective as well. Man United tend to go for the big name players. Jadon Sancho, big name player. Anthony, big name player. Lukaku, big name player. They go for like whoever's got the kind of most impressive FIFA card. Whereas I think Liverpool, they do their research. Andy Robertson, nobody knew who he was. Like Wijnaldum, nobody thought he was a midfielder. Similarly with Arne Slot. So I think Liverpool do their research and they don't necessarily go for the big name. They go for the right person who fits their style of play. So Man United always go for the most expensive toy in the window, but we go for the toy that we actually need. We go for the toy that will make us the most kind of happy. Durwood said, I was still listening, kind of. My daughter moved out today, so she officially said, goodbye. Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, I hope where she's moving to, I hope that goes well. It is always it is always tough when a child moves out for the first time. Um, I remember when I went to university, my mum was crying. So it is it is a bit tough, but yeah, I'm sure things will go well. Darwin Núñez will have an achievement on his page that will forever say Premier League winner. Yeah, 100%. I don't see Bruno Fernandes having such a achievement on his page. So yeah, people always said that Quinton Fortune was better than Gerrard um, because he had the Premier League and Gerrard didn't. So we can use kind of similar sort of logic there. Snuff says, "Oof." Chicken Lover says, "I don't want to trauma dump, but my dog passed away. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. It's not nice. Pets are family. So yeah, very very sorry to hear that. I hope you yeah, I hope the next few days things get a bit better for you." It's called Michael Edwards. The nerds love their data. They do. They love the data. They're all about the data. Um, I presume they have like different data algorithms for like each position. You know what I mean? Like the algorithm with respect to what they look for in a left back is probably stuff like, I don't know, how often does he get the ball on his right foot? How often does he pass forwards? How many miles does he run? I presume, because we say it's data, but it is, but it probably goes a level deeper than that. There's probably a different data set for each position, I think. Um, Obviously, they're not going to reveal that. It's probably confidential, but um, then yeah, they probably collate that data and then make a decision. Did Fish ever find out the fire world class players for me? No, I think Fish is probably eating his fish burger and his cheeseburger. For a fish, he has very, very interesting eating habits. Yep. So sorry about the pups. 100%. It's always tough, kind of losing a pet. So, because pets are 100% family. So, yeah. Sonny says, "Why you guys kick Darwin Núñez? Just think that Harwin, Harry Kane is about to win his first title with Bayern Bundesliga. My man finally left the Spurs inside him. Yeah. Well, there's still time. There's still time for the Spurs to come back to the surface, and he doesn't win. What is the Bundesliga table? I'm just gonna have a look. Bundesliga. I know Bayern are ahead. So Bayern, oh, they might be a bit too far ahead, you know. Bayern are first with 72 points. Leverkusen are second with 64 points, so 8 points ahead. Yeah, he might finally break the curse, but you never know, mate. Hopefully he's still got a bit of Spurs left in him. Sonny says, "Come on, man, don't say that. Let him have his title." Nah, I don't like him. Don't like him. Ever since he did that little move, you know that little move he used to do when a player used to jump and then he used to back into them. I find him irritating. I can't. I find it hard to kind of like players that we spend like 8 years 8 years hating. You know what I mean? That's why I find it difficult to support the national team. It's like, how can I suddenly support Saka for a month? I just find that impossible. Harry Kane will forever have that Spurs gene in him. Yeah. Once you go Spurs, you never go back. 100%. Let's see if Palace can do anything. Yeah. They put a cross in, but it's caught pretty easily. Raya taking his time. There's nothing beats wasting time against Crystal Palace. He will join another sport and still lose. Like he has, yeah. Maybe he'll take up. I don't know. Maybe he'll take up darts or something, cricket, and still be pretty useless at that. I still remember him kicking over the post in the penalty versus France. Yeah, is that the one where Mbappe turned around and just started laughing? He does have a tendency to bottle it at the worst time, and that's that Spurs gene that we were talking about earlier. That once it's there, you can never get rid of that Spurs gene. Yeah, table tennis. Table tennis might be a good sport for good old Harry. Snus is asking, Sonny, what are your thoughts on Man United at 15th? What do you think is the biggest issue at United? Oh, it'll be tough. It'll be tough to get that down to one issue. Harry's back with Darth Vader playing the electric guitar, saying hello again. Hello, Harry. Hope you're good. Hope you are doing well. I started playing Oblivion, by the way, today. It's pretty good. It's not bad. I would recommend it. How good was Bale in Tottenham? I mean, he left Spurs. Okay. You got me there. That's a good one, actually. Bale did firmly leave his Spurs genes in North London. So yeah, Bale was good at Tottenham. Maybe even better at Tottenham than he was at Real Madrid. I don't know. I don't really remember. I remember one season for Tottenham. He was absolutely amazing. But yeah, he's one of those that kind of left the bad genes in Spurs. You're a wizard, Harry. He is. Nice. I haven't been able to play that because I'm on holiday. Oh, nice. Where are you on holiday? I'm going on holiday next week. I'm going on Wednesday, which means I'm going to miss the Barcelona game and gonna miss the United game. But it is what it is. Never mind. Nice. I'm in Wales. Nice. Ian Rush country. Very nice. Very good. I hope you're having a fantastic time. Burger King Eden Hazard also got a Champions League by sitting on the bench warming up in case a young Vinny Jr. had to come in. So I mean, let's not take that as a crazy thing. True. Eden Thick Hazard managed to get a Champions League. Come out. Yeah, I've already been attacked by a seagull. Tried robbing my sandwich. That's possibly the most Welsh thing I've ever heard. So, definitely in Wales based on that. Seagulls are crazy, man. They their tendency to kind of steal food and how quickly they kind of swoop in, like it's pretty insane. Snus is saying, "Are you sure you aren't in Brighton?" Seagulls just in Cardiff for the day. everything. They literally just got saved by De Gea. I remember De Gea saving United's backside. And goddamn, if they win the Europa League, they don't. They don't deserve to be in the Champions League next year. But equally, if they are, and they make it in via the Europa League route, it would be kind of funny. Of course, we don't want them there. We don't want them there. But like, if they were there, it'd be pretty funny. Durwood says they're terrible in the US. I live by Lake Erie. Is that Seagulls or Man United fans? Yeah, just need to confirm. They're both pretty terrible. Arsenal playing keep ball, man. Playing keep ball against the mighty Crystal Palace. Snow says, Sonny, honestly, I like you. You are a very delusional United fan. Raya standing with the ball in the goal. Is that a goal? What just happened? What has just happened there? I just look and Raya's like standing in the goal holding the ball. I'm like, is that not over the line? What on earth is going on? Yes, both. So United fans and Seagulls, fair enough. 2-2, yes. Mateta. I'm surprised Mateta didn't start. This is showing the replay now. Saliba fumbled it again. Didn't he fumble it against Madrid with Vinicius? Isn't this guy supposed to be better than Van Dijk? Saliba, right? What's he doing? That's twice now. That is twice. With the whole Madrid thing, it was like, yeah, no problem. These things happen sometimes. That's two, not necessarily 2 games in a row, but that's 2 games in recent succession where he's done that. And is Mateta like a wrestler? Like, why does he have the ear things on? That's what like wrestlers used to wear, right? For grappling. But an amazing finish by Mateta the wrestler. Fair play. Let me change the score, man. And what's Casemiro doing in United? And don't bring up the 2 assists in Europa League. Yeah, I think that relates to kind of what we were saying before. That United seem to kind of always go for the big names. Big name managers, big name players. Like whoever's the most famous, they'll buy them. They don't seem to really have a transfer strategy. But it looks like they're trying to rectify that now. So let's see what happens. Pixel says, come on, Palace. I mean, if this is a draw, that would just be funny. That would mean we just need to draw against Ange, mate. Okay, now Arsenal are showing a bit of urgency now. Now they're showing a bit of urgency, but where's this been for the last hour? They're resting him for the weekend. Fair enough. Man is just collecting retirement fees, and they have very high retirement fees at that. I don't think Mateta started since his injury. Is that why he's wearing the wrestling gear on the ears? Mateta's alright, you know. He's a good player. Sorry, I'm not a United fan. More of a Barca fan, but I do follow United the most out of all the Premier League teams because of Ronaldo. Fair enough. Okay. So the Libermania has provided context. Wasn't he knocked out by the goalkeeper? Probably protection. That makes sense now. I think that makes sense now. I thought he partook in kind of amateur wrestling during the week kind of thing. I thought he just came from like wrestling practice, but no, that makes a lot more sense. Has to play with protection on. Fair enough. Yeah, it was. Yeah, horrible to watch. And also to laugh at angry Roy Keane and Gary Neville and their various failures. So that's always nice, isn't it? Gary Neville, who at the start of every season tells us how amazing, United are gonna do. Um, he's always fun to laugh at. I want to make like a compilation of all the things that Gary Neville's got wrong, but I don't have like a spare 4 weeks. They want the win at Arsenal, do greedy, yeah. They are a greedy bunch. They might have left it too late though. They might have left it too late. Let's see. Fair enough. There are enough players with the Czech helmet. Oh yeah, yeah. Mateta seems a bit more aerodynamic though. A bit less puffy, a bit less paddy. More of the kind of wrestler gear. Fish is back. Fish is back. Can we get 8 minutes extra time? And Mateta dunking on them for us to win the league. Yeah, I'd still be happy with the draw. I think I'd still be happy with the draw. I want us to kind of win the league on on Sunday. I feel now it's like 9:45. It's like great. Just before you're going to sleep, you won the league. It's like you need like a day to kind of build up to it. I don't know, but it is what it is. Fish needed melatonin. That's good to know, Fish. I think he's a wrestler, perhaps in his spare time. Does a bit, but perhaps does a bit of grappling. I think. Who will win? Fish United. I think Fish United will definitely win. And you've also posted a fish there, so that's good to know. Oh my God, Mateta needed 25 stitches to sew his ear back on. I had no idea it was that bad. I was gonna say I might need to research it, but kind of based on that, like I don't want to see that. I mean, it's great. It's great that he's back out there. Then, kind of considering that. Yeah. So the Millwall keeper studied his face. Yeah. Unfortunate. I guess it is a contact sport. And kind of sometimes these kind of things happen. But it's good to see him back. It's good to kind of see him back on the pitch, I think. Snus had a request for you, Fish. Name me 5 world class players, please and thanks. So there's a task for you. The question of century: United or Spursy? Who will finish higher? And just a reminder: Leicester has won more Premier Leagues than United and Spurs in the last 10 years. Yeah. United have actually never won the Premier League. They've only won the Barclays Premier League. They never won like the new format of the Premier League. So when they go on about 20 times, 13 times, you know how they changed 20 times to 13 times? I'm like, that's actually 0 times. Because you've only won the Barclays Premier League. You've not won the new Premier League. So there you go. That's what I say to them. Arsenal looking pretty desperate now. Ball to Martinelli. Corner, I think. No, ball stays in. What happened to Saliba though? That's kind of 2 important games where he's lost concentration. You sound like you could be a Liverpool fan, Sonny. We're just here to laugh at United. Yeah, that's that's what we tend to do most of the time. You were right about 8 minutes. He just put the board up on my screen. A draw is just funny, isn't it? That would give them 67 points. Mateta. Oh my God, they're going to score. Ah, not quite. Reinders 3-0, dunking on their head tops. Is he the Dutch player? The Dutch one that we were watching in the Europa League? Not Nations League, I think. Midfielder. Here's Martinelli. Martinelli does nothing, as he does most of the time. Well, London is pretty empty too. I'm pretty sure Chelsea did not win a Premier League in the last 10 years. Or maybe they have, and Arsenal are a mystery to everyone. The fans, the manager, and the world, yeah. Yeah, it's been mostly northern teams, hasn't it? So Manchester City winning Premier Leagues. Liverpool also a northern team. Who was it before that? Maybe Chelsea? I can't remember. Yeah. Reinders the player City wants now. Of course, that's their answer to everything. Spend loads of money. Spend loads of money, buy new player. Yeah. Anansa just said, I'm sure Liverpool fans would want to win it for themselves Sunday. Yeah. That's how I feel as well. It's 10 to 10 now. It's kind of completely dark outside. I'm probably going to go to sleep in 20 minutes. It's like, oh yeah, you won the league. You won the league. Good night. Whereas if you have like a day to kind of build up to it, and I think it's is it a 4:30 kickoff or is it 2 o'clock kickoff? I'm just gonna double check. It's a 4:30 kickoff as well, so we'll have the whole weekend to build up to it. Which makes it all the more fun, I think. Whereas if Arsenal were to kind of just kick it into their own goal now, it would just be anticlimactic, I think. Let's hope Saliba doesn't doesn't fluff it up again. I would love to see Reinders at Liverpool. Good player. He played very good in those. Was it Nations League? In those Nations League games, got a nice little goal as well. Ere Akan says Galatasaray is the biggest. You got a very good striker, to be fair, and awesome, man. I don't know how you pulled that one off, Ere Akan, but you got a good player there. Gala, and then the colors of Gala. Yeah, Galatasaray are indeed the biggest. Treble winners Inter losing to their derby rival AC Milan. I know an Inter fan that claimed they were on their road to the treble this year. Well, they've taken a side road to nowhere, by the looks of it. If Arsenal got an own goal and lost the league because of that, it would be hilarious. Part of it would be hilarious, and part of it I'd be so annoyed, because I feel like they'd be kind of stealing our big day from us. Kind of thing. Auto Libya says, if ends draw, does that mean Liverpool wins the league? No. If it ends a draw, then on Sunday Liverpool only need a draw against Tottenham. Whereas if Arsenal lose today, then Liverpool win the league. Thoughts on Jamie Carragher. Is he just an average player, or would you consider him a Liverpool legend? He is a Liverpool legend. He was very limited in his skill set, I can't lie, but he had some very kind of good seasons. I'd consider him a legend. I would. Judge Mo, you know him too. Is he the one from Egypt? He sports Inter. That one. Ere Akan says, yes, we have Osman, but our second striker is better than Osman. Who's the second striker? Who is this person? If you're saying he's better than Osman, we might need to look into this one. Judge keeps saying they might win the treble this year. Yeah, unlikely. Judge Mo. Yeah, unlikely, to be honest. Not impossible, but unlikely. Is it possible Liverpool to not win the Premier League? It is possible. It is possible. It's very unlikely now, but it is mathematically still possible. A defender with decent skill that makes no mistake is enough. Yeah, to be fair. Um, and I think you've summed up Carragher quite well there. Decent player. I know he scored a few own goals here and there, but I wouldn't hold that against him too much. Um, he was a solid defender. He had a few very good seasons. I felt like in the Champions League final in 2005, he was really really good. Um, and I think he retired at the right time. He didn't have an ego about it. So I'll give him a bit of respect for that. I kind of wish he didn't spit at kid. I kind of wish he didn't do that. Um, but he retired. He retired at the right time. Yes, he's the one from Egypt. Ah, yes, yes. Mario Icardi, Maro Icardi, Maro Icardi. So good they named him twice. So is that yeah? Yes, if we lose all 5 games, yeah, unlikely to be honest. If this draw finishes a draw, we need 1 point in like 5 games. It's pretty much bang on. Street won't forget. Streets will not forget Ere Akan. The streets have been told now, so the streets will remember. 7 own goals in 700 plus games shouldn't be mentioned at all. Yeah, it's not a lot. I think it just became a bit of a kind of comedy thing, if I'm honest. um, but yeah, he was a solid defender. He wasn't the quickest, but to be fair, back in the day, kind of nobody was back in the day. Um, but yeah, he was fine. He was fine. I liked him. I liked Carragher. I kind of a lot of people at the time kind of felt Carragher should have been the captain instead of Gerrard. So he did have quite a fan base. Full time, by the looks of it. Brodello is saying Fabrice. I don't know what that means. No idea. Ere says you should sleep, sir. I will. I will sleep in. I don't have this is because I wear glasses normally. I don't have like wrinkles. Um, but yeah, I am gonna go to sleep in about half an hour. Leave the football before the football leaves you. Yeah, I like that. It's like when somebody insults you with intelligence, it's even worse. Only 1 point needed. Yeah. Um, I'm happy with this. This is probably the ideal result because we still get to win it ourselves, and a draw is even easier than a win, right? So what can you say? Ere says, "Be honest, bro. Which one is better, Osimhen or Darwin Núñez?" Osimhen, of course, Osimhen. I think Osimhen's very good striker. Um, that's easy. That's not even like a hard decision, if I'm honest. How did Arsenal bottle the lead? Well, again, they'll blame this on Liverpool, right? They'll find a way to blame this on Liverpool. That is crazy. Yeah. Um, my kind of expert assessment of it is when they went ahead, they were just defending. They went ahead and decided to sit back. That's what Arteta does. Once they go ahead, they kind of sit back, and then Mateta gets a nice goal, and then Arsenal decide to inject a bit of urgency. Um, but by then it's too long. So that's Arsenal's problem. When they're ahead, they don't go for the jugular. They don't go for another goal. As soon as they get one goal ahead, they sit back. And then this happens. A fun fact, Jamie was joint 20th with Zidane and above 21st Ronaldo. Is that true? It's in 2005 when we won the Champions League, and he was very good then. But that's a nice fact. I'm gonna remember that. It's pretty good. Oh, well, Snus says, of course, Darwin Núñez is the better. He will become Premier League winner. Does Osimhen have a Premier League to his name? That's a fair point. Liverpool Besiktas 8-0. What a match. I'm guessing you don't like Besiktas if you like Galatasaray. Yeah, who become a Premier League winner. Do you know Arda Güler and Szoboszlai fight? What do you think? Honestly, it's a bit childish. Like, I just find it a bit kind of childish, if I'm honest. I know Güler is a lot. Is Güler a lot younger? Szoboszlai is quite young, but I think Güler's a bit younger. I just find the back and forth like a bit kind of childish, to be honest. Like, okay, one person says something, the other person responds, no problem. But then when they go for a third round, then it's like, okay, now it's getting a bit silly. Ty will scream the FA is against us and the refs are against us, and then go back to their daddy Arteta and say, give Arteta another season. That's what I commented on the AFTV clips video. I said, this year, what did I say? I said, this week Ty is going to blame the referees. Next week he's going to blame Ryan Babel in 2009, and next month he's going to blame Henry VIII in 1526. I think that's what I commented on one of the AFTV videos. Marko Arnautovic is officially a Champions League winner. Is he better than Darwin Núñez? That's the old kind of trophy logic. And it's just like, yeah, 100%, I'll go with that. Let's be real, Scott Carson is one of the best Premier League keepers in the Premier League. To be fair, he did, when Dudek was injured during 2005, Scott Carson did have to play for us in the semi-finals, or was it the quarter-finals against Juventus. He did pretty well. I think City only have him around now because he's English, so he counts towards the quota. But I remember when we signed Scott Carson from Leeds. Showing my age there. Even though he's been building a team for 6 years now, yeah. It's like how much more money do you want to give him? Haven't you seen all the UCL and EPL he have won as a third backup keeper? Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? People always say, like, you can go to these teams and you can win all these trophies. And then you can show the medals and the trophies to your grandkids. But, like, if you weren't really playing, like, do you really feel like you won those? I wouldn't really feel like that, but I don't know. Results a huge 0. Yeah. Scott Carson's got 2 Champions Leagues. I presume one of those was with Liverpool. Yeah, must have been one with Liverpool, one with City. And he got all the Premier Leagues with City, yeah. I'll say that Champions League, he did contribute because Dudek was injured. Carson came in, did pretty well against Juventus. So that's a fair contribution. Started a few games here and there, but yeah, for the Premier League as the third keeper, I'm not sure I'd count those, but I'd give him the Champions League. 4 or 5 Premier Leagues, and 2 UCL treble winner. Yeah, pretty good. Rashford the GOAT says, United still the best club in England. United or Villa? Because Mr. Marcus Rashford, are you not a Villa player at the moment on loan? I've heard Rashford doesn't want to go back, by the way. I don't know how you'd feel about that. Chelsea fans still claim Hazard's UCL that he won from the bench. Omega lol. Yeah. Fair enough. Oh, okay, fair enough. I'll change my username. I respect the honesty, to be fair. Scott Carson is a bigger legend than Buffon. Never won the Champions League. Did Buffon never win a Champions League? I guess not. I guess playing for Juventus. I'm sure Juventus must have won one somewhere. But yeah, crazy. Cool. Crazy game. 2-2. Which basically means we only need 1 point to win on Sunday. So Sunday we will be back doing another one of these. I won't be doing any more for the week because there's nothing else of any interest. So I'll just be playing some games, kind of thing. But yeah, see you guys on Sunday for the Liverpool game. Yeah, see you on Sunday as well. Buffon was a Serie B player in his prime, as in yeah. He's a I think he's another one of those keepers I would have kind of loved to see in other leagues, but it is what it is. It's kind of done now. Have fun. I will try. I will be playing what's it called? Oblivion remake. So yeah, it should be good. We are going to win the league by the rest of it. Anthony's cooking in La Liga, so Rashford was United's problem, or is Anthony still the problem? I think United is the structure of the club seems a bit toxic. They seem to have got a good man manager in Amorim, so that's a step forward. But I hope they don't improve too much, because obviously. Have a great rest of the week. See you when you stream again. You too, Derwood. Hope you have a nice rest of the week. Yeah, it'll be Sunday. Yeah. So hopefully see you Sunday for the Liverpool Spurs game. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, they got relegated in 06. Yeah, they did get. I forgot about that. Fair play to Buffon for kind of sticking with them. I respect that. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for keeping me company, and thank you for keeping each other company. It's always good. It's always good to kind of see kind of people chatting. Yeah, walking to another Premier League. Yeah, so Sunday will be the one. We will be hyped for that. But yeah, cool. I'm gonna go to sleep now, as our Turkish friend was telling me to do, because it's very late. And yeah, see you guys Sunday. Hope you have a nice